What is up, friends? Today is all about anchor links in Squarespace. Squarespace just added anchor links within Squarespace. I want to show you how to use them, and then how do we use them with custom code? How do we use them so we can easily hand them off to clients, and all the little nuances involved in that. So this is what we're going to ultimately be building, is a component like this. I have this in my component library. We're not going to build this from scratch, but I'm going to show you how I've structured this so it's easily duplicable for myself on my own website, just using an anchor link ID, or you could hand it off to a client and they can easily replicate this on any other page. So let's just jump into it. Okay, first things first, if you haven't seen the new anchor links within Squarespace, we can add anchor links to sections. So if we edit any section, we go to edit section, down at the bottom, we can give a section an anchor link. And the primary reason we'd want to do this is so we can link to a specific section on our page. So if I gave this page the anchor link name of give, just that, and we'll save this. What this allows me to do, this is just some functionality built right into browsers, is on the page with that anchor link, if I append give to that URL right there, I can share this with someone else, and when they go to that URL, it will scroll down to that one section. And what's really nice about the way Squarespace has implemented this is that it scrolls down, it includes the header height in what it's looking for to scroll. So if our header is sticky like it is on this page, it will scroll to that section, but not have the header overlap with that section, which is really nice. This is a great implementation by Squarespace. Really happy with that. But what I want to focus on today is how can we use these anchor links to create custom components. So over on my website in my code catalog, if you're not a member, you can sign up $50 a month. You get all sorts of great things. And one of the things is just this library of 100 different code snippets, 100 plus. And this bento box is one of them. So if we wanted to use this on a section, I have my instructions right here. We just add a list section, we paste this code in, and we just add this as the anchor link, and it automatically turns that section into one of these bento boxes. So let's just do that. Hit copy on that. Let's go to our custom CSS area, CSS right there. Let's drop that in. That's all we needed to do. Now let's go to our page that I've already got created. So this is a list section with 4 items in it. And all I have to do is we'll go to edit section. In our anchor link name, I'm going to call it bento-4-bookends. And then when we save, it automatically transforms into this layout that I wanted. So this is really cool because this allows you to create these little components, because we haven't used the data section ID, which is what we used to do. We used to turn on our section ID finder and target sections by their data section ID. I have updated the section ID finder, by the way. This is something you use. It will pull in the ID of the section. So that's a nice little update there. But this allows us to use those section IDs as the targeting mechanism for a section. So we can easily hand this off to a client. And if we tell a client, hey, I've created a page right here, it's sort of a template page. If you want to reuse this page, hit the gear, duplicate the page, and these anchor links get pulled through. So let's go to this duplicated page. And now we have that exact same custom layout already on that page. So this is really great because we've duplicated the page and that anchor link has pulled through. But there is one little tweak. Let's go back to this page. And let's say we duplicate the section, not the page. Well, this doesn't get pulled through. And this doesn't get pulled through for a couple reasons. And if we go to edit section ID, we'll see the anchor link isn't copied over. Okay, that's annoying. Bento for bookends, and boom, we can't. Link already exists on the same page. So you can't have the same anchor link twice on the same page. And that's because our anchor links right here, what Squarespace is doing, it's adding IDs to our section. If we open up our web inspector and we look, we could just refresh this page. If we target this section, we can see what Squarespace has done. It adds the ID right here. So it's added the ID bento for bookends. So good HTML practice, good HTML hygiene dictates that you can't have the same ID twice on the same page. An ID is supposed to identify a certain element on a page, and you really shouldn't have the same ID twice on the same page. A lot of other JavaScript looks into what these IDs are, exactly what they are, and it's assumed that they are unique. So Squarespace is following this practice. We're not going to have the same IDs on the same page. And this is generally a good thing, except when you're building custom components like this, right? Because now, okay, I'm going to have to create like bento for bookends too, and then just duplicate that. And I guess we could do that, but that's kind of annoying, right? Well, there's another way around that, because then if we were doing that, we'd have to tell our client to go in and change that. It's harder to hand off to our client, right? So this is my proposed solution. We target not necessarily based on the ID specifically, but the ID generally. So let's go to edit our section. I'm going to say that same thing, bento for bookends. And then we can't do that. Add anything you want after. I'm just going to say -1. I'm just going to say -1. That's simple enough. And then we're going to hit save. Now we could just do a comma and -1 and just do this down to like 5, and most likely a user or a customer isn't going to have more than like 5 on the same page, right? But a better way to do this is to, instead of targeting the ID, we can target the attribute selector. So this hashtag means we're targeting that ID attribute that I showed you in the HTML earlier. But instead of a hashtag, we could do square brackets. And square brackets means now we're looking for a general attribute, like the ID is an attribute. Your class is an attribute. All these data things, all these things over here, this is an attribute. Data animation, ID is an attribute. Data controllers bound. All of these are attributes in our HTML. And these square brackets means look for those attributes. And what we're going to do is look for the ID attribute that equals what we said, bento for bookends. Bento for -bookends. And so this is, again, going to work on our first section, but it's not general enough. What's nice about targeting our attribute selectors is we can do some more calculations, I guess, on them. So instead of exactly this, right now, that's what this is saying. Look for exactly bento for bookends. But if we put a star right here, that says, look for bento for bookends, this string, that specific string of text, somewhere in the ID, anywhere in the ID. And so now this is going to apply to both. It looks like I have some other settings applied on this that's changing it around, but that looks kind of cool, actually. Let's hit save. And so this is a little bit easier. It's still not the best. I think it would be really nice if we could specifically target sections like that and duplicate them. But this is, using the IDs is probably good practice. So this is a nice little workaround. This way you can put anything else you want before or after this text, and this is still going to get applied. All right, that's it for this video. If you are interested in the membership, lots going on. I got a whole code catalog. I'll link down to it below with all sorts of things in there. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Any questions or comments down below? I'll see you next time.